This is the first step of your animation. You're going to design a head-on, close-up shot of your character. So that means from the shoulders to the top of the head. The character can be based on you, on someone you know, a fictional character you made up, or a character from a movie, or basically anything taken from life. And I asked you to watch this video outlining some of the basic concepts of the principle of animation, which is appeal. And appeal can come from a few things, right? The first thing is you start with a strong shape, right? The second thing is you play with proportions. You choose to exaggerate certain features of your character. And the third thing is keeping it simple. Remember, you're making a cartoon, not an illustration. What can you remove and still communicate essential parts of that character? I'm just going to model through what I did, but yours is going to look so much different than mine, and that's perfect. That's exactly what should happen. Yours is going to look much different than mine. And I started from an inspiration of photographs. So let's get to my photographs here. So I've got a project folder set up called Demo Character, and that's what you should do, is have one single folder where all this stuff comes from. You're going to have a lot of different assets throughout the project. So set it up now to set yourself up for a good organizational structure for all of your animation. The first step is to think about two emotions that you want to portray on your character, right? So you could do this by looking at the internet. Internet research is fine. You could do this by just photographing yourself and looking at your own face and what it does when you have those two emotions. So my contrasting emotions are angry and happy. Here's the photograph I took of myself, really exaggerating my happiness, and then really exaggerating an angry face here. So these are just reference images that I took then into a sketch. So I sketched in my book several different ways of portraying that emotion. Here are two of the sort of last iterations of that, but I did lots of sketches. With my drawing, I've tried to emphasize those concepts of the principle of appeal. So I've started with a strong shape. Keeping in mind my reference image, I have elongated the ovalness of my face. I've also paid close attention to what the features do in each of those two emotions. So playing with exaggeration or playing with proportions, right? Look at my hair. I've accentuated the pandemic haircut that I gave myself, a little asymmetric, but playing with proportions. And while it doesn't look simple, I've tried to keep it down to three essential features, right? The eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And those are the features that are going to change as I change emotions. So there's a lot of overlapping lines in my sketch. After all, it is a sketch, but I am going to simplify this when I get to the Illustrator stage. So those are the three concepts of appeal that I want you to pay close attention to, right? Start with a strong shape, play with proportion, and keep it simple. Now, there's a couple of ways you can get this. I just basically freehand drew it in my book, or you can do it on a piece of paper with any writing instrument, but I do want you to do it freehand. I want you to draw. And then you can take a picture with your phone or any camera you've got, just to get a straight overhead image of it. And then you can download that file into your folder. And there's multiple ways of doing that. So I don't want to prescribe one way of doing it, but take a picture with your phone, take a picture with any camera you have, and then put that image, preferably as a JPEG, into your folder.